Hey guys, it's Michi. Happy Sunday. I said I would come back, and here I am. So, I'm going to share a few tips on moving. I actually made a post about this on Facebook. I actually shared it here to YouTube as well. So, I'm just going to do a live version of that to help other people that maybe just didn't read it. But I think it's really helpful, and it's something that I've learned over the time that I've been here and in my journey in finding a place to live that was affordable and stable, and how to for you guys to avoid the same mistakes and traps that I felt like I had. So it's kind of interesting. I made notes, so I'm gonna stay on track. Look at God on this Sunday. Number one, you want to kind of work with the owner themselves if you can. This is pretty difficult to do from abroad. So if you are in the States or other parts of the world and you're trying to relocate, this would be a hard task for you, but not impossible. You can actually deal with the owner themselves and get concrete information. You want to make sure that the owner of the property is actually the owner, because what I discovered here is, sadly, there is a lot of fraud that goes on. And it's not only here, it's in the States as well. In the States, it's really different because they disguise fraud very differently. They tell you that, hey, I need a $50, $75 credit check. I need a $100 credit check. And you pay, and they have no intentions on releasing that or renting that apartment to you. So the scams are worldwide. They are not just here in Mexico. But I'll share with you the scam that I had, okay? So there is something that I call catfishing for houses, where they post these beautiful photos of these homes and you're just like, oh my God, I must see it. And then you get there and you're like, what in the shack in the hell is this? So I do not recommend you going by photos alone. I definitely recommend you showing up in person. And another thing that I think is very important, you need to make sure that that person who says that they're the owner or person who's representing the house is actually the owner. Why is that important? Because people will okay, let me go back to what I was saying before. When I was looking for my first house, we saw this really nice place on Facebook Marketplace, because here in Mexico, they don't really have a strategic system for renting. They do, but it's not really anything that we're kind of used to coming from the States. Okay, in the States, we're used to these pretty websites that give you all the facts and details, and here they don't really have it. They use Facebook for most things. And then most people don't put their properties on Facebook anyways. You just kind of got to be on the ground and do the footwork and know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. So anyways, I show up to this place, okay? And I'm like, oh my God, I need to go see this. It's going to be amazing. I get there and I'm like, what is this? Now I get there and it's like 4 other people meeting me there. The owner, the actual owner, was a really nice lady. House was really pretty, but it wasn't what was advertised. Okay, like there was chunks of the wall missing. There was a whole piece of the floor gone. Like they had posted the pictures like when they first bought the house or made the house years ago. It wasn't what it was. Okay. So the owner is looking at us like, okay, who are you and why are you here? And the other people are looking at us like no one knew who anybody was. So at the end of the conversation, we discovered that the owner was finding out along with us that there was other people representing her home that she didn't even know about. Okay, so just scams. So you have to be careful here, because once you give your money away, it's like gone. You're not getting it back. I don't care what it is, you're just not getting it back. So you want to be very, very careful about what it is you're doing and who you're giving your money to. You want to make sure that they are the legal owners of that house. And you prove that by asking for the deed. You ask for ID, you ask for property, you ask for the property management information, not management, but the property information. So for example, for my house here, I asked for a copy of his driver's license. I asked for a copy of his ownership and title of the house. And he provided all that information, just like I provided all of my information. Because it's important to me to actually get the right. I don't want to just be giving money away to scam artists. So that's something that you guys ought to pay attention to. Two, if you're going to work with an agent, make sure that they are certified and licensed legally. A lot of people here just make up shit as they go along saying, hey, this is what I do, and it's really not what they do. Same thing that they do other places as well, but you want to make sure that they are pretty much solid and not just getting you because they think that you're an expat with money. Because scamming is, again, worldwide. This is another tip that I'm going to share with you. Please, 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 please only deal in the currency that the country that you're choosing to live in has. Do not deal in US dollars unless you are in the States and it's US dollars. Do not. Because it's a way to get you. For example, last year when the pandemic hit, the US dollar was $25 to 1 peso. And the peso had dropped in value a lot, which was really bad for Mexico. So what they did was they increased the rents to like astronomical numbers, like ridiculous amounts of numbers. And people were paying at that time because it was only $25 to 1 peso. But now now we're back to what it used to be, which is about between 17 and 19 dollars for a peso. So now people are stuck with these huge rents when they should have been dealing in pesos. So if someone says, oh, I need you to pay $800, then it's just different. It's going to cost you more to pay in dollars than it would for you to just pay in the currency that you're living in, because there is no fluctuation in that. 20,000 pesos, 10,000 pesos is still 10,000 pesos, but the fluctuation is on the U.S. side. So hopefully I'm explaining that right. Maybe someone else in the comments will get me together in my explanation of that. But you don't want to pay more. Like when I first started, rent was like between $700 and $800, but now it is $1,000. So you wanna make sure that you're on the winning side of that I don't know the word I was supposed to use, but you want to make sure you're on the winning side of that, not transition. What's the word I'm looking for when you change money? I don't know. But that's what you want to be on, the winning side of the money, okay? Hey, you guys. Yes, exchange rate. Thank you so much. God, look at God showing up again in the comments today. Another thing, you want to compare the rents around you. And this is going to help you decide if they're charging you more because you're an expat. And usually they do. They just do. They know you got the money and they're going to charge you more. But our expectations are very different too than a traditional house. So you need to be aware of that. So kind of compare the rents around you to see what the average cost is, so you know that you're not being gouged. It's really, 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 really important as well here that I've found out that a lot of tenants do their own work. Okay, There's a small expectation that the owner kind of, makes it livable, but nah. The expectation is you live there, you make it the way you want. So you want to make sure that whatever it is that you do and wherever you decide to go, that everything works. Okay? Make sure the water runs. Test it. Like when I moved here, I literally cut on all of the showers, all of the water, the gas on the stove. I opened up all the windows, kept closing them, opened the doors, because once you accept it and you move in, you're stuck with how it is. Okay? And again, this is kind of true for the States too. They will paint something and make it look pretty, and then you get in there and that shit is trash. You want to make sure everything works. Everything that's important to you, that it works. A lot of people sell things on looks and nothing functions. You don't want to live like that. You got a tub that doesn't work. You got a shower that won't run. You have a laundry system that fails you. You don't want any of that. So you want to make sure that everything works, and you want to get everything taken care of before you give the money. Okay? Because they will tell you anything. Yeah, we'll do it. Crickets. I'm still waiting for the air conditioning man to show up from last year. And I had paid him already. He wasn't coming back. I'm telling you these things because it's a lesson learned. I also had to learn to relax on time, because if you tell me 10 o'clock, I'm expecting you to come at 10 o'clock. But here, they'll tell you, yeah, I'll be back, and never come back. So what I started to do was not deal with those people anymore. There is, here in Mexico, there's always somebody that knows how to do something that I need. And there's always another person. And my money will go to that person who shows up and does a professional job. And that's all I want to deal with. So those people who just disregard me and don't show up and don't come back and all of that, I've learned now. I know better. So what I learned, I pass on. What I really have been through as far as, apartments, utilities, just stuff I've learned, and I hope to be able to give it to you guys so you can ask the proper questions when you're moving, no matter where you're moving to, because again, scamming is universal. I think that is it. I'm gonna do a video on workplace and jobs, but it's not gonna be today because I'm waiting for an email to come back. And then once I get that email, then I'll start talking about the jobs and the things that I've done and I'm doing here to make a living. I don't have my good income from the States, but I am doing okay, even after a year of loss, a loss of everything. I lost everything. And I'm still here and I'm still going, y'all. So listen, if a girl with nothing can do it, so can you. Okay. Till the next video, guys. Nos vemos pronto.